to be very expensive and very crowded to the point of being actually uncomfortable. So we just listen to it on the radio. In 5 RTF. Because I assume I heard it not very expensive. I assume you're not attending live. Do you know what the call sign of the radio station is in case I can find the streaming for my son? Yeah, that's WWOZ. Think of Wonderful Wizard of Oz. It's a community funded station, no commercials. One of the best probably in the world. But they do broadcast a lot of acts from both French Quarter Festival and Jazz Fest. And I would strongly encourage you to turn it on after this is over in 5 RTF. Well, thanks, Jeff. I think last time I was with you, we installed the app for WWMZ because you told me about it 3 or 4 years ago. That was wonderful. I'll share that with us. And maybe we could all talk about some of the local activities that one has in each town here since we're getting back into traveling this season. And I'd sure like to hear what's going on in the Columbus area and up in Pennsylvania. And, I'm actually going to make a trip to Pennsylvania in October. But let's check. We're about ready to get started here for the net. And we're going to draw one. We'll officially convene the net. Okay, it's top of the hour here, and we're going to go ahead and start the Netflix Radio Council now. This is JAA4FL. I'm net control for the day. Currently from Delray Beach, Florida. So we appreciate everyone being with us. If you're here on Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, depending on where you're operating from, or even in the evening if you're overseas, we appreciate having you on board. Thank you very much. So, this is a direct net. We're up on Netwalk. Everybody that's early check-in is there. We're also monitoring the uh, the instant message feature of Netwalker. So I'm going to check in if you want to BBQ for the CDs here with us. Thank you all for joining us. And Paul, I'm a market member, of course, and I'm net controller. You don't have to be a market member to participate in that. I think you'll find it interesting. The topics are usually centered around medical issues of the day. I'm going to let it drop and we'll pick it up in just kind of one. This is AA4 Cellular Control from the Net Atlantic Radio Council DVNet. And all stations, international and national, are welcome to check in and participate. If you're listening and you feel like you don't want to check in because you don't want to be involved in the conversation, that's fine. Still check in so we know you're there. It gives us a chance to broaden our horizons on what we discussed and perhaps bring up something that's interesting to you. So just tell us who you are, where you're at, and if we know something from your area, we'll certainly bring it up. I see we've got Steve in Philadelphia now, K3FZT, Steve, I know you're checked in now. We meet weekly here on the Coordinate Array at this time, and as we meet here in this direction, today I am net control. Next week it's going to be Mark WA1 EXA, and 2 weeks from now it's going to be Andy WJAV. I'll be returning 3 weeks from now when we let it go. Even if the Coordinate Array is so gracious in letting us use their technology, it allows us to come in and transcode our different digital modes. So if we're using a radio or a hotspot in different digital modes, say for example in DMR, when we use our own DMR and EAC Fusion, they all can cross talk to each other. You're transcoding, and we don't have a tower available that way. So we do appreciate them offering their services. They do technically support and maintain their system. We meet every week at this time on Saturday mornings. It's directed, so you're going to come in through me. So Climate Arrays is a whole system of link repeaters, servers, so you get people with hotspots, people coming in with radios, repeaters, of course. People coming in with ME sticks, with USB sticks. So no matter how you're coming in, just realize that it takes a little while for the system to sync after you finish your transmission before you start the next transmission. So once the next transmission, give a pause. Even after you can't give a pause. Give the system a chance to say limit your transmissions to 2 minutes without letting it drop. Feel free to require it to, but just tell us that you don't want the signal drop. That means then I'll let it drop for a moment. Whether any stations have emergency or priority traffic for the net, if so, call Net Control 884 phone. None heard. Do we have any stations that are on limited time because they're mobile, maybe at a range or multitasking doing other volunteerism as many of us do wear many hats in this group? If so, make your call in.
PY2 BBQ.
Well, thank you, Hilton. I appreciate you being here with us. I've been really busy lately. I hope all the presentations went well when we get time for you to speak or to tell us about the emergency sessions you ran again. And just for you that for those who may not have heard already. I do appreciate that I got you checked in on that while here. Are you on limited time today, Hilton? Or are you multitasking today? Go ahead.
AA4FL, this is K3FZT. Will you call in EJ?
Uh, Thank you, Jay, for the opportunity. Yes, I'm multitasking right now. Actually, I'm in a friend's house near São Paulo in the city of São Roque, and I was doing some experiments in remote transmission, and I could manage to do a few QSOs in 10 meters band, single side band, a few minutes ago. I managed to do QSO with Switzerland, Russia, Finland, and Sardinia. That was very nice because I was in just a laptop and an internet connection here from São Roque and using my station in São Paulo, about 100 kilometers from here. Wait, one.
Still testing positive, thus delaying our return home. Mildly ill, she somewhat worried. That is all. K3FZT clear.
Well, thank you, Steve. I'm glad I purchased some insurance and I'm sure it's paid because they have to stay longer. Uh, do they have any idea when they exposed anyone that they're aware of? Do they have any idea at all of how they picked up COVID? Okay, for you, Santi, just clear, Steve, before you run, did the kids have any idea of how they picked up COVID? Did they have an exposure that they're aware of? What was their gut feeling about that? Go ahead. Okay, I lost Stephen there. Are there any other stations now that have limited time for the net? If so, let's do a check-in for you now before we move to the regular check-in.
PY2 BBQ, I think you didn't copy my transmission over.
Again, PY2 BBQ, go ahead and repeat, I'll copy it out.
Okay, for FL and the group, hope you can listen to me now. This is PY2 BBQ Hilton from São Paulo, Brazil. And I have limited time. I'm visiting a friend's house in São Roque, about 100 kilometers from São Paulo. And I was doing this morning some nice experiments on remote operation and could manage to do a few DX in the 10 meters band. And Switzerland, Russia, Finland, and Italy, all in remote operation from my laptop here in São Roque. That was that was really nice, really nice. Don't have much information on medical issues. It seems that COVID-19 is well is standing by here in Brazil. So we are still having this weekend the carnival party that we didn't have in February. So back to you, Jay, for FL and the group, PY2 BBQ.
PY2 BBQ, thanks for being with us here today, Wilson, and taking time out from your visit with your friend. Before you go, you're doing remote using your laptop. What radio are you using? What system for remote? Go ahead.
Okay, for FL and the group PY2 BBQ returning. My base station is an Icon IC7300. It's a pretty nice radio for digital, and all connections to a computer gets very easy in this radio. And I'm using the software Win for Icon. Win for Icon, and it allows to do remote operation. You can set your computer in your base station as a server and install the external laptop as a client in your network, and you can do everything from single sideband controlling all functions of your radio, and even CW can be done remotely. That's really nice feature of this software, Win for Icon. It's from a Canadian ham, and he has also other versions for Yaesu, Kenwood, and all other radios. Okay, so back to you, A4FL PY2 BBQ.
Well, thank you, Hilton, and enjoy yourself. And by the way, we've had a lot of 6-meter openings around 1800, 1900, even from the United States to South America. So if you happen to get a chance during that time, UGC, listen, and perhaps you'll find an opening. And I really had a lot of fun last 2 weeks on transit before it openings. So, have a great week, Hilton, and I'll let you get back to your friends. Are there any stations that you wanted to do that are here that haven't already checked in, like to do a regular check-in? Please go ahead and make your call now.
Kilo 4 Whiskey Foxtrot Papa Wayne.
Wow, ladies, right now you're on board at K4 Whiskey Foxtrot Papa. Good hearing from you. Thank you for coming on and participating. We hope that you'll be able to do so even more in the future. See, we haven't really got a specific topic, but we did. I certainly forgot what it was from last week. So it's going to be a little open, and when we get to you, we'd like to introduce yourself to the group. And the round table, tell us all about yourself. Are there any other regular check-ins now? We haven't already checked in. Please go ahead and make your call now. A 4 net control to the market digital voicemail. Yeah, there were other check-ins. And actually, Wayne, while you're here, rather than having you wait to introduce yourself, I think it's very fitting that you go ahead and introduce yourself to the group. Let me read off who's here. I'm using NetLogger to see that, Wayne. We do have NetLogger Windows program that you can download that will see you can see the check-ins. There's also an instant message feature. Actually, I see you're using it because I see you're down online. So you don't need to hear that from me. Shame on me for not looking at the instant message feature. We have well, you already know who's here, but for everyone else, if you're not using NetLogger, myself, WA1EXA, N9OML, N3IM, WJB, N5RTF, PY2BBQ is here for a short time. K3SCQ is here for a short time. And Wayne, K4WSP. So Wayne, please tell us all about yourself, tell our group, and let us know what your involvement is in digital modes and what mode you're using, what radio you're using, et cetera, et cetera. Go ahead, say for us.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Kilo 4 Whiskey Foxtrot Papa. And yeah, I just managed to get this running before starting today. I'm using a Kenwood handheld, the TH74A, and I'm using the Open Spot 3 for the digital um, connection. It seems to work well. Not really too active on any digital modes right now. Still kind of learning the process and just trying to get to it. As Jay knows, I'm a radiologist here in Florida, and I work for a small, well, not small, I guess. It's a large multi-specialty group, predominantly primary care providers, but we've got, some specialists as well. And that keeps me busy most of the time. I do some work for a hospital in Kenya and another one in Peru, and that's what keeps me busy. Been out for a while because I, believe it or not, got COVID again. So this has been the third time for me. And there's a sidebar, yes, been vaccinated, Johnson & Johnson, but it must be something about my genes and my blood type. Who knows? But just seems to keep circulating around. So anyway, back to you, Jay. A4FL, K4WFP.
Hey, Forrest, I'm sorry to hear about the numerous times that the disease expressed itself. Out of curiosity, in the Ocala area, what is the community spread? I mean, is it fairly high or out in the country around Ocala? Is it different? Is there more exposure there than would be in some other areas? Go ahead.
Jay, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, we live in a very lax part of Florida where um, no one, I mean, essentially no one, 99% of the population does not mask. Um, so we're a perfect setup. I get I don't work at the hospitals, but I'm on like a courtesy staff privileges, I guess. So I get their emails daily about their census,
and the numbers were dropped really, really low. Were just a couple of cases, 4, 5, 6 COVID positive bed cases. But I've noticed those numbers have crawled up and up and up again. So it's on the rise. I talked to the primary care doctors where I work, and they said that it is definitely on the rise, and people are coming in left and right to get tested for surgery, and testing positive. A lot of them are not symptomatic, so maybe that's part of the reason why it's spreading. But it certainly got me. It was I thought I had strep throat actually. It was probably the worst sore throat I ever had. And that was my presenting symptoms. My wife presented the same way, and I went and got swabbed. So that's the story. Back to you, Jay. AA4FL, K4WFP. Well, thank you for the description, Wayne. K4WFP, AA4FL. As we have a roundtable here, I'd be interested to hear from different people, different areas of the country about community transmission. It seems to be on the rise because we're certainly decreasing NASA's requirements. I'm sure it's voluntary, but just curious what the outlook is as Wayne said, plants in his area of Florida, which is a fairly rural area around a very conservative area of a bigger city. So not only 35 miles away in Gainesville is much higher than this, but I actually live in a small town of Hawthorne, which similar to Wayne, rarely you see a mask. Not as much as 99% weight. So as we go down the list here, I want to go ahead and go to Mark WA1EXA, AA4FL, turn the mic to you.
Okay, AA4FL, WA1EXA. Well, we're doing okay up here, except for some dental problems that I have. Seems like I had a tooth that had previous root canal and it got infected again, and then all of a sudden it just fell out and I have no pain anymore. So I'm taking my antibiotics. I'm taking, finish that and call up the dentist and have him see him take another x-ray. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there, but I can't believe the tooth and all of the root systems just fell out. That's what it appears to be. Great one. And as far as what's going on in the Cape here, Cape Cod, we're getting ready for the summer. Things are starting to open up. Of course, the big problem here is trying to get people to work. There's not enough workers, so we don't have enough staff for the restaurants and the hotels and things like that, which caused a lot of problems last year, and we expect it's going to be the same this year. As far as COVID goes, yeah, numbers are going up, but there's really nobody in the hospital, or 1, 2, that type of thing. So we kind of all into every place, the same as everywhere else. Right one. And let's see, a bigger problem right now is our pollen count. As you know, we're just starting our spring, so the pollen count's high and everybody's sneezing. And that's more of a problem, I think, right now. I think COVID is people's hay fever. They seem to be having more of a condition with that. So that's about it, really. Anything, anybody got any questions? I'm happy to answer them. And I will be here next week and run the show for you. Back to you, WA1EXA.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing that, Mark, next week. I have a question for Mark first, and then for Wayne here. When you had your exposures and your infections, did you exhibit a fever of any type concurrent with the symptoms and stuff with Mark WA1EXA?
WAVXA. Some people did, but typically no. Typically it's more of an upper respiratory type of symptoms without a fever. But we did have some that did have fevers. All right.
Well, thank you, Mark. Wayne, what about you? Did you have a fever? Yes, Jay. I have low grade most of the time in the hundred, low hundred, 100 to 100.5. My wife, she got as high as 102. But predominantly, like I said, it was sore throat, just and otitis kind of media kind of thing. Thank you for being selfish and asking, but of course it's important as we go to the next and do our roundabout. I know there's also chimed in, but I'm leaving for Spain on Tuesday. I got sick about 3 or 4 days ago. I've had a respiratory. I did a swab yesterday. I don't have fever, and it came back negative on a home test. So uh, I have Bridget all the time. One of them's not vaccinated. She's had a cold. So I guess it is a traditional cold. But silence out. Uh, I can only feel for people that really have. I did have any of those symptoms when you're describing. I know Mark described previously feeling well, and mine just feels like a cold. And I know all about Howard.
Good morning, Jay. Hope everybody's doing well. Howard and 911 near Chicago. Illinois COVID numbers, as reported by the media, are rising. It does not appear that hospitalizations or death numbers are rising proportionally. So, our vaccination efforts may be making some difference. Masking may have been making some difference, but other than healthcare facilities, there's really nothing that's requiring masking. You just still see some people wearing it based on their own concerns or healthcare situation. Um, so that's about it. Weather in Chicago has been crazy wild up and down. We may touch 80 degrees today, and we had snow earlier in the week. Yesterday was a miserable 40s with rain, so it's all over the place. Pollen seems to come out on the warm, windy days. But other than that, I have no news for anybody. Hope everybody's well, and I know I'm all back to net control.
Thank you, Howard. I hope that your Chicago weather becomes a little more constant so you can enjoy baseball season and going out, being outside in general. But that should be coming soon, I would hope. Time's up. And it's right on, Keith. Good morning to you. We'll turn the mic over to you.
M3IM and AFL, A4FL in the group. Yeah, well, we've traveled to Charlotte, North Carolina and back, stopping in Baltimore, and we're finding everything seems to be fairly wide open. Mask use is at your discretion, and there are people who are still wearing masks, which I have nothing to blame them for. However, we have been maskless for a while here in Pennsylvania, and things are turning to normal. However, businesses are still trying to find people to work, and that's been a problem, particularly in the restaurant industry, but also some in the retail industry. Therefore, hours are not back to normal, but at least they're open and making a living as a mom and pop restaurant or retail business. COVID cases here fluctuate. Some of it has to do with the university here, and I'm sure that's true in a lot of communities, that the student population tends to cause some flux in the numbers of COVID patients, and we're also seeing, obviously, the rise of the new variant. Which is causing some difficulties. Take one. From an amateur radio standpoint, I've been doing some FT8, some single sideband, and have been playing around listening to PSK 31. I've not entered that field yet, but I'm thinking of doing that.
Yep.
So that's all there is from here in Pennsylvania. We did have snow just a couple days ago that gave us about 3 inches of a wet, mushy snow, but lasted about 24 hours and then was gone. This is M3A. I'm back to the group.
Well, thank you, Keith. I hope your weather becomes more warm and consistent as well. Keith and I are going to be setting up a booth for intervention. We're moving inside instead of the tent that we were in. We were in building 6, which was outside Transfer. If you get building 5 this year, I don't have the exact booth number, but I'll just distribute that over this service. If you are going, and even if you're not staying in the hotel, we do have a room block. That information has been disseminated on the Google group. So if you're local, like, for example, Andy, you're coming, I realize Saturday night we have a banquet. There's no charge to attend the banquet. It's included as a member. And you're welcome to bring one guest too as well if you want to bring a spouse. And that will be Saturday evening. And Fairfield. Well, I can't really pick that name of the little town we're staying in. It's confusing with the hotels. Fairmont. But we're actually close to Wright State, right across from their neuroscience building, I believe. So please let me know, RSVP. You're going to be joining us for bringing this house. We're having an annual meeting. Let me let it drop with you. We're having an annual business meeting on Friday morning at the hotel we're staying at. Even if you're not staying at the hotel, please come. I will put it on Zoom for those that can't get there that morning, or we'll try to do it early enough that you can still get over on Friday morning to get lunch right afterwards. So we do appreciate involvement. It's important to do the business of the organization. So the more we do there, the more meaningful it will be, because we value the feedback and needing feedback. So far, there were 11 rooms reserved for the meeting in the block of 20. They expire shortly. Hopefully, they will expire already a block. I think it was the 25th. I couldn't have earlier. So, made your reservation, make it happen. This is Dave Fort Often, that's what it was Radio Council TV now. Before we continue our roundtable, are there any stations that would like to check in? Please go ahead and make your call at 884 Okay, so Northern Check-ins. WJB, good morning. Turn the mic to you.
Well, good morning, everybody on the net. The Ohio weather here is absolutely fantastic today. It's going to be 80 and sunny. It was 74 or 72 yesterday and sunny, and I played around with golf, so it was a good day weather-wise. As far as things going on in the Columbus area, well, this is a big university town. The only pro sport we have is hockey, and it would be the Blue Jackets. But the Ohio State Buckeyes, particularly in the football realm, is pretty close to that. We have a stadium of 90-some thousand people that is filled most of the time. So if anybody wants to see a spectacular large attendance event, you can always come to one of those games. And we have, big enough city, 1.5 million or so, that Boston area, we get concerts and that kind of stuff. And weather's typical Midwest weather. We don't get as much snow as those around the Great Lakes. So it's a little bit further south. Most of these do not get Great Lake moisture around here, so it's all ours comes from the Gulf of Mexico, so there's definitely less snow here. As far as other things going on in COVID in Ohio has come up, but just like the other reports, the hospitalizations and deaths have not. And of course, as you all know, I have a daughter's ICU nurse that's been deeply involved with COVID patients. 12-bed ICU, and they were recently in 12 of those patients. Right now, they only have one, so it's definitely improved there as well. To break briefly for time. And the only other question I have, you may want to send me an email for this. When I do that, I'm capable and used to using NetLogger. I just wonder if you could send me your login and password for the group here, and I know how to make it happen if I've got that information. So haven't picked the topic yet, but we'll figure out something. So back to you, Jay, and everybody else. Have a good day. I have to leave. Won't be available beyond the next contact. So this is my son here from Washington, D.C. area where I'm doing amateur radio and some 900 megahertz antenna work in my attic promptly. So everybody have a good weekend. We'll hear you on here next week. WJB.
WJV, for all, thank you once again for joining us today and have success with your antenna project. Always good hearing from you. Always have such inappropriate input. We appreciate the feedback that you're giving us. And this sounds great. And generally, everyone's talking about, well, not everyone, but we've heard some individuals talking about community spread from colleges, which I think you had mentioned. And you're here in New Orleans, you're in your season of activities, festivals. So there's not going to be any masks required. And out of curiosity, what is the volunteer of the mask fair? Will people at the different festivals, do you think there'll be a little bit of mask use? And what's your projection as to whether or not there's going to be an increase in case counts after these different festivals, particularly the Jazz Festival? And finally, do you have a for
for FL and RTF. Beautiful day here. It's about 76 degrees. I'm sitting on the screen porch watching the tide come in. We are now 6 weeks after Mardi Gras, where everybody said there was going to be a super spreader event and all, and we had absolutely no changes in COVID cases due to Mardi Gras. So with all of our festivals being outdoors, open air, I really think it's probably over with as far as any big COVID events here. Wait one. What I'm noticing is that it really has turned into a political statement. It's a little funny. You see people wearing masks to indicate their affiliation with a particular uh, philosophy or ideology or political party. And then on the opposite side, you have people who don't wear a mask even in situations where it might be appropriate. I just, it's amazing how a purely medical issue is turned into something political, in 5RTF.
Well, thank you for the report, Jeff, of that ongoing results. And yes, thank you for reminding us that festivals are outside events, including the Jazz Festival, where colleges, students, not researchers, do things on short things, very close range. Because I remember some of the things we used to pass around in college, kind of chuckling about that. Well, yeah, you want to see Q and Hilton was on earlier, because I believe he was on limited time. But let me just check Hilton and see if you are available. Okay?
Hey, hey, for a felon, the special BDQ returning, this time from São Roque, 100 kilometers from São Paulo, Brazil. Looking to the fields here, beautiful day, temperature is rising, it's a sunny day, and yes, I've been listening to all the presentations and very interesting to see that you had a rise in the COVID cases in the United States, most of the places, without increasing deaths or hospitalization. Well, we don't know what's going to happen here. Often we are a few weeks behind what's happening in Europe and in the United States, so probably the same is going to happen here. We are in a deep right now, quite a few cases. The Carnival parade is going on in São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. You'll probably be able to see something in the television about that. And very interesting what Chip has just said. Wait one.
We're not, so perhaps just step away for a moment. So, anyway, yeah, say, Mark, what do you think about a discussion for next week, correct?
Anything say we didn't get all your information because we heard Hilton. So you two guys are talking together, and we had Hilton's discussion.
Okay, well, the discussion is fine. I got the networker, which I bring up the TV down array, but it doesn't ask me for a password, so I'm not sure you can't just set up your own DV Quantnet array and log in, but I'll see that information and how that works. I'll do the best I can. Only a couple of days here for a head office thing, but you can always tell it on the internet and you just call it something different. And it doesn't matter if I have the record of the log, as you can always say, or log file and send it to me. For that log. Are any other questions about next week? Mark, go here on the USA, maybe for FL.
I didn't have any questions. I think someone asked me if I agreed with something, but I couldn't hear them because I only heard the other conversation. We're getting two at the same time.
Okay, no other comments. I just want to show some appreciation for you doing it next week, uh, I assume that's going to be open discussion as to what the tries to distribute down the Google route if you like, if you change your mind and something comes up during the week. It seems particularly active. Just how we had to tell. K4WFT, Wayne, are you back with us today?
Yes, Jay, I'm here. Just with and I'm sorry, I'm still learning the names, but I've noticed the same thing here. Masks seem to be a political statement, and just leave it at that. Weather here is wonderful, beautiful weather. Uh, the with regards to COVID, again, I'm behind the scenes. I'm a radiologist, so I don't have a lot of exposure on the primary side or what's really happening on the front lines. But what I'm hearing from some of the primary doctors with the group that I'm with is that a lot of these long haulers now. There's uh, a lot of these patients just with ongoing chronic symptoms. Some of it, simple. They still don't have taste or smell. In fact, my daughter, my stepdaughter, she had COVID probably about 3 months ago, and still has issues with smell and taste, which is just I know it's one of the issues, but there are others. One of the surgeons has now had to step back, and she's no longer doing surgery because of fatigue. The GYN surgeon, and she's has keep postponing her surgery schedule because she's not recovered, and she's about 9 months out. So that's, I guess, the thing that kind of worries me the most is I don't think we realize the long-term implications of this, and in a few years, I guess, or 5 years, more things will start to be apparent. Back to you, Jay. AA4FL, K4WFP.
K4WFT, AA4FL. Thank you for bringing it up for long haul. We talked a little bit about long haul previously on a previous night, but we do have a couple of numbers that are afflicted. And I heard from one this week. He's probably about 4 months out. He said he's about 80%. The other one, I didn't get an exact report, but apparently they're much worse off than that after 4 months. But I didn't get the exact description. So yes, I understand what you're saying, and that history will be the judge, and hopefully there'll be a lot of research done. We'll find out more about the disease process and what adjusts to different systems, more different people are susceptible. So as we have a next go around, if anybody would like to bring up that as a thread, and see if they feel what the reasons may be, where some people are afflicted more than others in the long haul. I'll go ahead and take a list now of those that might want to discuss that thread. Go ahead and make your call at 884 Phil. Okay, nothing heard. Everyone's had a chance to do roundtable. Are there any other follow-up conversation? I'll make a list now before we bring the next one close. Make your call at 884 Phil. We'll start a list for additional comments.
10:03 a.m.
DQ.
Okay, let me start with N3IM for additional comments. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, just to follow up on Dayton, I did find the building 5 is named the Hertz building. I did find a picture of the Hertz building, and I emailed those to you. It's actually a fair distance from where our tent was. As it's across the center area where they have the flags and so forth. But it looks like a pretty good location. It's near the flea market. This is N3IM.
Thank you for looking that up, Keith. We look forward to spending time with you there, or anybody else who might come and volunteer in booth, and certainly appreciate your help. But just like the congregate, thanks to come by and socialize. There's always going to be someone at the booth, and maybe we'll set up a meeting time for people that want to come by and on the hour, so we can all have a joint time rather than a random shot list. Hey, what we're talking about, getting animation, and looking forward to that here in May. DYC, VBQ, Nelson, go ahead.
Okay, for FL QA2D concern, now it seems that with Quadnet Ray, some of you are using VStar and others DMR, and when 2 times when I started transmitting via D-Star, it seems that you entered with, when I started transmitting DMR, it seems that you at the same time transmitted via D-Star, and those connected to D-Star listened to what you transmitted, and those connected to DMR listened to my transmission. So I think we need to wait a little longer between one transmission and another to let Quadnet Array to put all the modes together, probably. Okay, Jay, but thank you very much once again for this great net this Saturday, and hope to meet you again next week. Best wishes for you and your families. UI2 BBQ.
Nelson, thank you very much for the suggestion. Try and find some little flavor to see if I can get everything else. Other things listen to is great. And just there are problems here, especially with the feedback and potential how to meet yourself too. Also, I'll remind everyone, Mark, WA1EXA will be back for next week. The following week will be WJB. Yes, I don't have a COVID exposure. It keeps me staying longer. I'll be back in 3 weeks. It is my travel insurance is specifically asked to recover hotel. I have to stay longer. So the world, the world is understanding apparently, but even so, policies don't describe what they cover very well. So rather than do it automated, I actually called in and asked, something I rarely do. Usually I do everything online. So everyone, have a fantastic week. Thank you for coming in and being part of the Digital Voice Net, and I'll personally see you 3 weeks from now, and Mark will see you next week. And when you say we'll be next to go. So everyone, we're bringing that to a close. This is AA for us.
Sounds ready, Jay, and have a good trip. WA1EXA.
And this is AA for us all, going to the QRT. Thanks for everyone for joining us. And see you in 3 weeks. AA for us all clear.
And 3 IM is QRT.